ReefBum is sponsored by Bulk Reef Supply and Ecotech Marine. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. So in this video I wanted to provide an update on my 75-gallon frag tank, but before I do that, if you want to help support the channel and pick up some SPS frags, you can do so at reefbum.com. And with that, let's get into the video. So as you can see, this 75-gallon frag tank is packed to the brim with corals, but let me just provide a little bit some background on this tank and then kind of get into what I have changed up with the tank recently. So this is a custom built glass aquarium by Coast to Coast Custom Aquariums. It measures 5 foot long by 2 foot wide by 12 inches tall. It's got low iron glass. It has Euro bracing and an external overflow box. I love it. I love it. But you know, over the years that I've had it, the 6 years that I've had this tank, it's been a challenge. I've always kind of struggled to find the optimal way to set this thing up in terms of housing frags and colonies. Initially, one of the things that I had done was I used black acrylic egg crate, and I had these PVC footings. But the other thing about the black egg crate, it was like an algae magnet for me. Every type of algae that you can imagine was attracted to the black egg crate, and it was just, you know, every couple of months I would have to pull the black egg crate out, take my power washer, blast it, put new black egg crate in, and you know, in the wintertime in Vermont here, that's not so easy to do in terms of taking the egg crate out and blasting it with a power washer. So yeah, what eventually I did was I removed all the black egg crate, and I kept the colonies on these 3x3 inch ceramic tiles on the floor of the frag tank. So you know, it worked fine. It gave me a lot of room, but what the issue was that there was a lot of detritus that was kind of collecting between the frag tiles, underneath the frag tiles, you name it. So whenever I would do maintenance and move some tiles around, it would just be a kind of like a dust storm of detritus. So I would have to constantly keep on top of it, siphoning, keep the tank clean. And plus, you know, certain corals would grow more so than others, so having them all on the floor of the tank was an issue because some would start shading others out. So I always knew that eventually I wanted to do something to I don't know, tier the corals, to have them at different levels. And I always thought that what Top Shelf Aquatics, you know, does with their PVC array was going to be you know, something that I thought about a lot. The problem was for me with this tank and the height of 12 inches, it just didn't seem feasible. But you know, I just was really trying to brainstorm and figure out different solutions. I love the idea of the PVC array. I think it's really a great space saver, but also to have mature colonies to, you know, to pull all the stuff out of the tank, create a PVC array. I mean, how would I do that? How would I kind of retrofit mature colonies on top of a PVC array? It just seemed like a massive undertaking. So I thought a lot about what I could do as an alternative, and the idea that I came up with was to kind of create my own little stands for these colonies and these frags. And you know, so what I ended up using was black egg crate for these individual stands, and some PVC, Schedule 80 PVC pipe for like the footings. Now it did take me a while to construct these stands. I've got, I don't know, 45 plus corals in this tank on tiles. As I mentioned, I used Schedule 80 PVC pipe. I cut the egg crate depending on the size that I needed for each of the stands, and I drilled the PVC pipe with about, I don't know, an 1/8 inch drill bit, create holes in the tops of the PVC pipe. Then what I did was I took some zip ties and I put the zip ties through the holes and around the egg crate to secure it that way, and then just kind of tighten them up. And that was pretty much the way I created these stands. One other thing about these stands is that I created different heights. So I've got 1 inch stands, I've got 2 inch stands, and I've got 3 inch stands. So it's great. It's very, very customizable. I wanted to have corals lower down in the front versus the back. I have these smaller frags I wanted to prop up closer to the light versus the colonies. It's a great setup. The other thing I want to mention is that the frag tiles are totally covering the egg crate on these stands, so there's just less egg crate in this setup, right? If the tiles are covering the egg crate, the theory goes that the algae should not be able to grow on them like if the egg crate was actually exposed to the light. Less egg crate means also more flow in the tank. I can definitely see improved flow going through these stands. Less detritus that's settling. I do have a little cyano in here, a little green algae. Not a big deal, but with less detritus, I should have less of those algae in this tank. So there are a lot of pluses to this setup. Anyway, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Until next time, be safe, be well, later.